Now a story of redemption and putting things in perspective. You know, the next time we feel we're having a bad day, I would suggest we consider the story of this young man and how that smile is still as wide as ever. With that said, I'm honored tonight to share the story I call Testing Zach.
My name is Zach Harris. I love football. I love life. But I had leukemia.
He had dreams, as does any young boy.
When I was growing up, I always had a dream of being able to walk and one day being able to play on this field and play for Wright's football.
The cerebral palsy tried to get in the way, like a well-placed tackle. But that did not stop Zach Harris. After years of therapy, he teaches us the smile can conquer the disability. In the process, he's left an impact on the gridiron, as though he was charging through the red zone, with his eyes directly on the goal line.
To see Zach and understand the circumstances, he's been dealt, kind of a difficult set of cards in life. He's just always positive, and he's a fighter, and he always continues every day to strive to be the best person that he can be.
I try to bring a little bit of that spirit that I had when I was here at Wright's.
But on a cold January day this year, Zach Harris took another hit.
I went to the emergency room and they ran some tests. They came in and they said, "Sir, we're sorry to tell you, but you have leukemia."
We met at his beloved Wright's Bowl, just us and a few leftover pieces of tape on a now deserted field that were once wrapped around the limbs of young men. For this 21-year-old fighter, despite all of the support from friends and family, he was for a moment all alone, in a void, no one sitting in the bleachers. Zach in the middle, feeling the cold around him.
I did lose my hair, actually.
Alone after becoming independent despite a disability since birth, and now this. If the leukemia invading his body was a demon with a name, sneaking up on him, staring him in the eye, what would Zach say now?
Look, I know that you've got bad intentions. I'm not the only one that you've crossed paths with, but I'm not gonna let you take me down. But if you do, I'm not going down without a fight.
Testing Zach. Doctors said he would be facing a year-long fight.
They told me originally that there wouldn't be any chance of me going back to school this fall.
Zach had another idea.
I knew in my heart that this was just going to be another obstacle that I would have to climb over.
The chemo treatments began.
I was life flighted to Vanderbilt on January 11th. They started me for 7 straight days on chemo. Okay, now it's time for another battle. It's go time.
As winter gave way to the hope of spring, doctors told him he was in remission. He was cancer-free. Laurels are not for resting. Zach took his passion of football and began throwing Hail Marys, working as an assistant coach for the Enforcers, a semi-pro team in Evansville, motivating young men who will carry Zach's lessons with them long after they grow old. Lessons Zach began sharing at his alma mater, with pregame pep talks to high school boys who were all ears.
This helmet and, this R, it represents more than football. It represents a brotherhood. It represents family. It's kind of like the whole all for one and one for all type thing.
Every single year Zach was a member of our football family, Zach received votes from numerous players as our team MVP.
I'll never forget.
He's now working on his degree at the University of Southern Indiana. That demon that invaded this young man's body now knocked on its heels.
And I gave that fight everything that I had.
Perhaps we could learn from a young man named Zach, as did a group of boys who became men. Following the example, and the words of Zach, who just wanted to wear a helmet, run the ball, and score a touchdown.